And first out will be the matchup between the Italian Alessio FOCONI and the Korean HEO Jun. And the second semi-final will take place between Richard Cruz of Great Britain against Carlos Llavador of Spain. Alessio FOCONI, his second World Championships, 7th last time out, won the team gold in Leipzig, and he is up against the 30-year-old HEO Jun of South Korea. His best in World Championships, a 10th in Paris in 2010. And from Great Britain, the veteran, 34 years old, world ranked number 4, 4th in Rio at the Olympic Games. His best in World Championships, a 6th place in Leipzig last time around, but he's been competing in this event since Havana 2003. And his opponent, Carlos Llavador of Spain, 26 years old, world rank number 23.
And our officiating crew, Florin Jorge of Romania, Pascal Maj of France, and Mohamed Ayoub Ferjani of Tunisia, and Andrei Witkowski of Poland. And our referee will be Florin Jorge. If you had told me, Graham, that these would be our 4 semifinalists at the start of the day, I would have thought you had a screw loose. But what an amazing day we had. Just in the 64, we lost world number 2, Macialis, or number 3, Macialis, Zarabchenko, our reigning world champion, at least for now, Miles Chamley-Watson, Garrick Meinhardt, Peter Yapich, Ha Tai-Gyu, and then it just carried on throughout the day, one after the other dropping off.
Yeah, you would have said Daniele Garozzo, you would have said Alex Macialis.
And if you look to your left, just to our left, just on the other side of Tristan, right here, you will see Alice Volpi, our women's foil world champion, and her partner Daniele Garozzo, here to cheer on Alessio FOCONI.
So it's FOCONI on the right of your screen against HEO of Korea on the left. Now this is foil, so the smallest target area of the 3 weapons. It's just that silver lame vest plus the bib of the mask. A point weapon, and also a weapon of convention, so you need to establish the right of way.
That looks like some Korean fencing to me. FOCONI off target there.
So very different styles, the Italians and the Koreans. Just explain the difference, David.
Well, the Italians tend to play, in terms of foil, a control game, and the Koreans, much like they do in epee and in saber, have a very acrobatic style, very active on the piste, very disruptive. Again, FOCONI off target. HEO trying to surprise FOCONI there with the quick attack. Big circular sees parry from FOCONI and gets the hit.
A great example of a parry riposte there. So it was HEO's attack, but FOCONI parried it, so gained the right of way.
Couldn't find the blade that time. And you see how fast HEO-jun is.
Well, this is a big personal best for HEO-jun.
He's got the parry there.
His best in World Championships, a 10th back in Paris in 2010. Placed 20th at the Olympic Games in Rio. He's only 5'6".
He's not a lot. He's not a lot of target.
Especially when that target's moving around fast like that, it's very difficult to hit. Flick over the shoulder.
He's not only fast on his feet, he's got great hand speed. And it picks up the blade and a flick over the shoulder of his own.
Lovely attack there from Alessio FOCONI. Well, FOCONI pressing, and HEO jumped in with a counter, but it landed off target.
FOCONI again off target.
So the white light signals an off-target hit. And the off-target light is important because say you are attacking, it's your right of way. If your opponent jumps in and hits you on target, if you can continue your attack, even if you hit off target, it's still your right of way. So the white light, a very important rule in foil competition. And it would change the game if it wasn't there.
FOCONI is doing a good job here. You know, he's trying to pen HEO in at the back of the piece, because if HEO starts running up and down, it's going to be a lot more work. But it is control, and it is, despite being behind by 1 point, he is making this work right now.
Yeah, he's closing up the distance. Distance is very important in fencing, isn't it, David?
Well, it is. It is a foundation aspect. I mean, and that foundation sits on a bigger foundation, which is footwork. And the Italians are spend a lot of time working on footwork. We look at somebody like Giorgio Avila, as we did today, and it's absolutely flawless. But you have to be able to move forward, you have to be able to move back, and you have to be able to do that at speed and maintain control.
Yeah, so your footwork gives you your distance, and your footwork also gives you the timing, and you've got to kind of put the two together, distance and timing. And then A lot of people are just tuning into fencing. They look at the sword play, they look at what the hand is doing, but actually, it's 80% of it is coming from where you place yourself using footwork.
HEO, again, I think getting his foot stepped on.
Yeah.
FOCONI off target there.
FOCONI scoring a lot of points over the shoulder of HEO. The back is a target as well.
Is there a challenge?
Yeah,
there is a challenge.
From HEO. Have a look at this replay.
HEO does pull his arm back in that exchange. And the right of way then passes to FOCONI, and he's able to level.
Oh, beautiful parry post from FOCONI. Italian takes the lead.
And he'll take it into the break. Well, an excellent first period.
That's not Cipressa, is it, that's in the box?
No, it's not, and I'm not sure exactly who it is. I was expecting the head coach of the Italian program there, but HEO started the day by taking out his, I believe he is 7th ranked in the world, HEO, his teammate, and he's been on a roll all day long. But it's FOCONI who's having to do, I think, a lot of the work here. But he's had a good season. And he would really like to get into that gold medal match.
Yeah, FOCONI won the World Cup in Paris this season, was silver medal in the World Cup in St. Petersburg. Got a silver to Richard Cruz in Cairo. So Cruz beat FOCONI in the final in Cairo this season.
Well, Cruz has, over the past couple of seasons, been a real thorn in the side of Alessio FOCONI. FOCONI back to pressure on HEO. I'd like to see that replay.
Asking you shall receive.
Well, there it is. Just changed up the line. And it's straight in, perfect. Now
was there a...
The Italians are claiming there were two
meetings of the blade.
meetings of the blade.
I think he's right, actually. I think he might be right. Well, we'll see.
That's not. We're not seeing what the referees see, but I think that may be a good call by the Italians.
Well, we'll see.
Nope.
No. That first one maybe was not considered a parry riposte. It was more of a beat. I don't know. You're the...
FOCONI actually getting a lot of success about keeping the distance close. And just a slight turn of the body. HEO moves, pass, or misses going past. Well, what was final action? There is parry off target. FOCONI.
It's looking good for the Italian. If you can keep this up.
He's keeping HEO penned in down there.
And it's working
not,
well.
Yeah, not giving him any room to build attacks. But just as I say that,
so that one was FOCONI, 10-7 the score.
a nice counter-attack there from HEO. They both take a short step in, and then together, and well, actually, FOCONI is looking for a parry there, and can't find it. Now there's a Korean move for you.
Yeah, let's have a look at this one on the replay. So FOCONI's attack, FOCONI trying to finish.
And up in the air.
Brings the scores level, 10 apiece.
Now we've got HEO on the front foot, and FOCONI with the counter-attack of his own. And HEO cannot finish.
FOCONI pressing forward again. And then HEO attacked off the back line. It was still his attack. So off target.
FOCONI's asking for his weapon to be checked.
And having a little sit down at the same time. Well, he thought he hit there. And no light came on.
Well, in the case of a faulty weapon, if the weapon doesn't work, then HEO's hit would be annulled.
That's why FOCONI sat down and asked for the referee to test, but the light came on. Of course, that won't show up an intermittent fault, so FOCONI's going to change it because he doesn't want that to happen.
Yeah, nice there from HEO.
So the Korean back in the lead.
Stepping in with a big swinging disengage. Well, HEO was asking for FOCONI to test the weapon on his upper arm.
On his off target, yeah.
Yeah. And it looked to me from the replay, and we only saw it one time, and that it did make contact with his upper arm. And now we saw a lot of that in Novi Sad because it was so hot. But if your jacket gets soaked in sweat, it becomes conductive. And you can give up hits on non-target area.
Well, that parry riposte brings FOCONI to be within 1 point of reaching the final. The score sits at 14-12. This is crunch time for HEO. Cannot afford a mistake. Needs to build the attack. It was parried, and it is FOCONI's, and FOCONI is through to the final. The question is, who will he face? We'll find out in the second of the semi-finals, but an Italian is in the final. It's not the Italian that we would have expected necessarily, but FOCONI's done well this season. He's worked his way up the rankings. He is #2 in the world for a reason. And Alessio FOCONI is through to the final.
Congratulations to Alessio FOCONI from Italy.
It's a confirmation of that semi-final winner, Alessio FOCONI.
It's been a great day for him today and a tough day. But you know, hats off to HEO. I mean, he took out Garazzo, Alexander Call, Alexander Shupanich, and his highly ranked teammate, Ha Tae-gyu. Bronze medal is an excellent result.